In a peaceful forest where every tree seemed to whisper secrets to the wind, there lived a small lantern named Lumo. Lumo had a very important job. Every night he would light up the forest paths, guiding animals safely back to their homes. His light was small but strong, and it made him feel proud to help his forest friends. One evening, as the stars twinkled above and the moon watched over the forest, a curious little firefly named Flick fluttered out of his cozy home. Flick loved exploring, but he had never ventured too far from his safe, warm nest. That night, he felt particularly brave and decided to explore beyond the familiar trees. As Flick flew farther into the forest, he admired the glowing mushrooms and the gentle rustle of the leaves. But as the night grew darker and the trees thicker, Flick realized he had lost his way. His tiny light flickered nervously, but he tried to stay brave. "I can find my way back," Flick told himself, though his heart was pounding with fear. Meanwhile, Lumo was shining brightly on his usual path, ensuring that every animal could see their way home. As he looked around, he noticed a faint, trembling light in the distance. "That doesn't look like a usual glow," Lumo thought to himself. Concerned, he decided to investigate. Lumo rolled through the forest, his little light cutting through the thickening fog. The closer he got, the more he realized that the light belonged to a young firefly. "Hello there! Are you lost?" Lumo called out. Flick turned to see Lumo's warm, inviting glow and felt a surge of hope. "Yes," Flick replied, his voice trembling. "I flew too far from home, and now I can't find my way back." Lumo gave Flick a comforting smile. "Don't worry, little one. I'll help you find your way." But just as they were about to head back, the fog grew even thicker, making it almost impossible to see. Flick's small light wasn't enough to guide them through, and Lumo's glow, though steady, wasn't reaching far enough. Lumo knew he had to do something brave. He could feel his energy waning, but he couldn't let Flick stay lost in the dark, dangerous forest. Summoning all his strength, Lumo decided to shine as bright as he could, even if it meant using all his energy. His light grew brighter and brighter until it pierced through the fog, lighting up the entire path. Flick's eyes widened with amazement. "Wow, Lumo, you're amazing!" he exclaimed. With Lumo's powerful light leading the way, Flick followed closely behind, his fear melting away with each step. Finally, the fog began to lift, and Flick recognized the familiar trees near his home. He turned to Lumo, his eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Lumo. You saved me." Lumo dimmed his light slightly, feeling exhausted but happy. "It was my pleasure, Flick. Remember, even when you're scared, you can always find the light to guide you." Flick nodded, understanding that it wasn't just Lumo's light that saved him, but also his courage and determination. Flick promised himself that he would help others, just as Lumo had helped him. As they reached the edge of the forest, the first rays of dawn began to peek through the trees. Flick waved goodbye to Lumo and fluttered back to his home, safe and sound. And from that day on, whenever a creature was lost in the dark forest, they knew they could count on Lumo, the brave little lantern who never let anyone stay lost in the dark. True bravery is not just about being strong. It's about helping others, even when you're afraid. When you shine your light for others, you may find that you are stronger than you ever imagined.